my family and I have seen so many blessings and miracles just within our immediate family. My dad had a stroke about 10 years ago, and he just, he's been he lost half of the feelings on one side of his body, so he wasn't able to use his foot, his hand. Then he broke his foot. He was in bed for a long time and just got very depressed, and just it was a really hard time for him. He All he wanted to do was just sleep. He would wake up to eat and go back to sleep. And I introduced my mom and my dad to the patch, and within a week and a half, almost 2 weeks of him wearing the patch, my mom called me and she's like, I don't know what's happening. She's like, your dad is a different person. She's like, I don't know who he is. He's making beds, he's sweeping under couches, he's mopping, he's vacuuming, he's jumping over things. And she's like, it's so much. I've never seen him like this. So it was amazing. And now they're here visiting. And my dad has been a funny grandpa, because whenever there's kids around, he usually wants to be in the opposite room and the opposite side of the table as them. He's always like, oh, he's going to get food on me, or he's going to throw up on me or something. So, but this time around, he's been the most active, happiest grandpa. My kids have been enjoying having a grandpa in their life, and it's been amazing. He's outside playing with them, making paper airplanes and kicking balls and sitting on the trampoline, and we're all in shock. Like, I don't recognize my dad. It's such a blessing. It's an answered prayer, because I asked God to bring my kids grandparents, real grandparents, and that's what I'm living right now. So it's such a blessing. Um, that's one thing. And then another big testimony was my mom's neighbor was very ill. She was having digestive issues. She wasn't sleeping. She was very depressed and had highs and lows with her, like her mind. She was, she'd go from, like, she was kind of like bipolar. She'd go from happy to sad. And so she was going through a lot of things. And that's just to name a few of the things she was going through. And my mom introduced her to the patch, and a week in, just 1 week, she called my mom and she said, I have to come over. I don't know what you're doing, but I have to tell you what this patch is doing to me. She's like, I'm sleeping, I'm eating. She used to have food aversions to the point where she couldn't even smell food. It was like, when you're pregnant and you're just like, oh my gosh, I can't. That's what she was going through. She was so sick. Doctors just gave her the runaround. They kept sending her from one specialist to the next, and they weren't able to figure anything out. So the patch has given her life back. She just went on a trip with her family. She's like, it was the most relaxed trip ever. She's like, usually, people stress on trips with boarding passes, with luggage, with all this stuff. She's like, I was keeping my family calm. And they don't, right now, they're, going through a little financial problem. So she told her husband, all right, let's work and we'll buy the patches next month. And her husband was like, I don't care if we don't eat. We cannot go without the patch. Like, that's how important this patch is. So yeah, so my nephew, who is nonverbal and wouldn't make eye contact, I think it was like a month after the patch. I don't know exactly the amount of days, but now he's making sentences, he's making eye contact. And so we're seeing so many different
How
things.
old is he, Diana? Sorry. Like,
He's three. He's
mhm.
three. Yeah, so he's 3 years old. And then his mom was like, I'm gonna try this patch. I heard it helps with your mood. And so she put the patch on, and she called my mom and she's like, oh my gosh. She's like, little things don't bother me anymore. She's like, I'm going out for walks. She's like, I feel happier. My skin looks amazing. My mom asked me what I was doing, and I told her I'm just doing this patch. So now my mom wants to try it. So her mom tried the patch. Her mom's arthritis is gone. So there's just like, it's like a domino effect of just blessings and testimonies. So it's been really amazing to see.